Hello and welcome. You're watching Bharat Pulse Survey segment 3. We're turning on this segment to politics and the leadership choices shaping India's future. What do Indians feel about the road ahead? As part of our special 2026 kickoff survey tonight, we're beginning by asking Indians to look back. Who has been the most effective Prime Minister of the country so far? Which leader in public memory truly stands out? We then shift our focus to the present opposition, who is seen as the most effective opposition leader today. And then, who in the opposition has the potential to become a future Prime Minister? Remember, of course, the next general election is still a few years away. But the big question, of course, already in many Indians' minds is, should Prime Minister Narendra Modi contest the 2029 elections for another term? Finally, we're also asking people of the country to make a prediction and to read the political mood of the country. If things continue as they stand today, who will win the 2029 election? Well, these are all the questions we asked, of course, to people of the country. What did they tell us? Well, that's something we're going to share with you now. These are the responses, these are the results of this third segment of the Bharat Pulse Survey 2026. Of course, this is concentrating on politics. Well, the first big question we posed was, who has been the most effective Prime Minister of India till today? And the result is pretty substantially in favor of Narendra Modi. 52% people believe that he has been the most effective Prime Minister of India ever in our history. 18% people believe that it's Indira Gandhi. 15% people thought it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. 10% people believed it was Manmohan Singh. 4% people, that's all, believe it was Jawaharlal Nehru, and 1% people have gone with Narasimha Rao. Let's put up the next big question then. Who is the most effective current opposition leader? Was the question we asked our viewers, and it's quite interesting that 44% people believe that it is others. That means that it's none of these individuals, but it's someone else. That's 44% believe that it's someone apart from these four leaders that I'm now going to mention. 29% people believe it's Rahul Gandhi. 14% people believe it's Arvind Kejriwal. 11% people believe it's Mamata Banerjee, and just 2% people believe it's M.K. Stalin. Let's quickly throw up the next big result. Well, we asked our viewers, our respondents of the survey, who do you think will form the union government in 2029? It's still, of course, a while away, but as of now, who is winning 2029? Well, and there you have it. 55% people believe it's going to be BJP with a full majority. 13% people believe it's going to be BJP with an NDA alliance. 21% people believe it will be a Congress-led alliance, and 11% people, that's it, believe that it will be Congress with full majority coming to power. The next question we asked was, would you like to see Narendra Modi contest the 2029 elections? And it seems that the bulk of the country is still with PM Modi. They want him to continue in 2029 too. They want him to once again contest and take the country forward. 56% people believe that yes, they would want to see Mr. Modi contest the 2029 elections. 25% people saying no, 16% people saying maybe, and just 3% people saying that they can't say. Now, what about the opposition? Which of these opposition leaders is a possible future PM? We asked our respondents. And what did they say? Well, again, they've gone with none of the above. 47% people believe it's none of these individuals who we put out in our survey. And who are those? And what are the percentages for them? Well, 28% people are in favor of Rahul Gandhi. 11% people are in favor of Priyanka Gandhi. 5% people in favor of Mamata Banerjee. 7% people in favor of Arvind Kejriwal, and just 2% people in favor of M.K. Stalin. So those are the results of this survey, and what do our guests make of these results that have been thrown up Well, let's take that to them. Kalyani Shankar is joining us live, political commentator. Kalyani Shankar, what do you make of the first big question we asked on the most effective Prime Minister till date? Interestingly, bulk of people believe it's Narendra Modi, followed by Indira Gandhi and others.
Well, you see, as generation after generation comes in, there are many people who are today, they won't have any idea about Nehru or even Indira Gandhi, how they control the country. So I think that accordingly, now today they have seen Narendra Modi, today they have seen Rahul Gandhi. So they are talking about only these people, not about the earlier ones, because each one of the prime ministers earlier really had to struggle to get the country going. There was a time when we didn't have the money or the the what do you call they had to buy paddy and things like that from America, so they were supplying it. So that was at one point of time, Lyndon Johnson suddenly said, "No, we can't give. Send show me one famine death, then I'll send it." So they held on to the last trench. So that time Indira Gandhi was supposed to say we should have our own thing. So they started the Green Revolution. So like that, each one of them have given something or the other. So I wouldn't agree with only what we see today. So each one, in my opinion, had done something or the other. They've kept the country going, and also they have kept the country remain united. So these are the two things which they have done really well.
But the people in India today believe it's Narendra Modi, who's been the most effective Prime Minister ever.
Well, no, he could be. I'm not saying he's not. But at the same time, why I think they decide on Narendra Modi is because he's the only one they have seen. That is one reason why I said that.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter. He certainly could be one of the best.
Okay. That's how you analyze this result. Okay, let's quickly also join Bipin Sharma then at this point. Bipin Sharma, another interesting aspect that the survey threw up was about the state of the opposition, where actually a lot of people are disillusioned obviously with some of the big opposition leaders, and they continuously are going for others. Now others, they may mean some other opposition leader who was not mentioned amongst the options, or they may want some other leadership to emerge in the opposition. Rahul Gandhi does better than the rest in terms of obviously ranking higher than Arvind Kejriwal, MK Stalin, Mamata Banerjee and Priyanka Gandhi, but still others scoring higher when we asked people on who could be a potential big opposition leader or who is currently best poised to lead the opposition today. What do you make of that?
There's an old saying, Uday, united we stand, divided we fall. So it is, on the expected lines. If you have a very divided opposition, then what do you expect at the end of the day? Of course, you expect, the results are quite indicative of that, because elections after elections, if opposition, especially the Congress, is unable to form the government at the center. So I think the message is quite loud and clear that the opposition, especially the Congress, the grand old Congress party, needs to get its act together. It needs to revise its strategy and understand the pulse of the common man. Because if that does not happen, then I think the way they have been decimated in certain states, look at what happened in Bihar recently. So I think it's a big wake-up call for the Congress. Now, if they need to actually come up with a good performance in 2029, they need to rework their strategy. They need to get their acts together. They need to actually consolidate their organization, because merely saying rhetoric is not going to suffice. Action is the need of the hour. And I think that is the difference, because BJP remains in election mode 365 days a year. So I think there is no problem if you take inspiration from your political rivals. And we had this very, very fabulous Delhi model, the health model. So, and the same holds true for BJP. It should have taken certain inspiration from Aam Aadmi Party's health model of Delhi, education model of Delhi, Aam Aadmi's party. And then, because if they talk about their Gujarat model, then the same holds true for everyone, that they also need to take inspiration from their political rivals if they want to better improvise upon their earlier performances. So I think 2029 is going to be very interesting, while the survey has its own evaluation. But I think like in cricket, like they say, that nothing can be predicted to the last ball. Cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. So is politics.
Right.
Anything can change overnight.
Yes.
So I think we should keep fingers crossed.
No, absolutely. Anything can change overnight, as you're saying, but already a bulk of the people want Narendra Modi to contest the 2029 elections. Saida Sadabas, what do you make of that? A lot of people believe that he should contest the 2029 elections, should once again try and form government in 2029 and take the country forward. What do you make of that?
Well, they have always believed with great power there's great responsibility and equal accountability. I believe Janta Janardan hai, ye public hai, ye sab janti hai. If the people of India want to see Shri Narendra Modi ji to contest again, and so shall it be. But the real question that needs to be asked is to the Bharatiya Janata Party, are they okay with it? Because after their 2024 elections, when it could not be 400 par, neither could it be 300 par, wo atke 200 par. The real question lies there, where many of the BJP leaders were taking the names of a Yogi Adityanath to come in for the 2029 elections. So India might want to see a leader, but BJP would want, or the RSS would want another leader. Let's leave it to their party. Also, as a matter of fact, I'd definitely like to know, it's a great initiative by your network. It's very interesting, and I'm glad to be on the panel with you, with Bharat Pulse, and these are very interesting questions that you've asked. But let us also understand that what you or your channel has done is only a sample survey. This is not the voice of 140 crore Indians. I'm sure a survey is of thousands of people or lakhs of people, but those people are not the voice of the whole of India. It is definitely not the majority that your survey has. Also, when it comes to an effective opposition leader, I absolutely believe that Rahul Gandhi of the Indian National Congress has everything in him to take it forward as the future Prime Minister of this country. Also, as a matter of fact, if you see that the Bharatiya Janata Party, like Bipin Sharma ji, who's a senior journalist, like he said, absolutely, they are a 365 days political party which is always wanting to win elections. And I agree with Sir that if you're a political party, your prime focus, your prime inspiration from BJP should be the hunger, the appetite to win one elections after that. If you're not going to do that, if you're going to do petty politics, then I think you're not fit to be a political party. I think for a political party, you need to work for the government, you need to work for the people, and you need to have a very strong cadre-based roots where you will fight elections and win elections. Merely fighting elections is not enough. Winning and losing is a part of the game, but just 30 seconds, Udasa. But what is most important here is winning elections. And how do you win? Get the right candidates in the right corridors of power and get them to win. Also, as a matter of fact, when Modi ji's name is taken along with great legends like Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, it's taken with Indira Gandhi ji, Jawaharlal Nehru, P.V. Narasimha Rao. Let us understand that all the survey that you've done is of voters of today. I'm sure many of them were not even alive when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister, or Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister, or P.V. Narasimha Rao,
Yes.
or Manmohan Singh. Many of the people could be younger. Because
Okay.
even I was not alive. I was alive only when Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. So therefore, they have not seen their Prime Ministership.
Right.
To be really a judge of it. So therefore, I believe that, like I said, with great power, there's great responsibility and equal accountability.
Yes,
And
that's
therefore,
your
every voter
analysis.
has
That's
their
your
right.
analysis, of course. But the pulse of the people, of course, speaks very differently to
how
what
many-
you've said in this survey. Manasvi Thapar, a
Sir,
political analyst, is also with
sample
us. Hi,
size is
Manasvi
important,
Thapar.
Uday sir.
Now there is still, of course, quite a while to go for
140 crore
2029. But
Indians
if
cannot be the voice
the
of
elections were
a
to
few
be held
thousands
today,
people in the survey.
people on ground believe that it is the BJP which will
How
win
many
the
people?
2029 election. That too with a
What is
full
your sample
majority.
size, sir?
That too with a full majority is what
me a
the
sample
respondents are saying of this survey. Manasvi Thapar, how do you read into that?
Size, 140
I am
crore
not
people.
able to get your question. Can you just repeat, because I think Syed was interjecting.
Saeed Asad Abbas, that question is not for you, it's for Manasvi Thapar. Please hold your horses. Said Abbas,
holding my
I'll come
horses.
back to you. I'll come back to you. Manasvi Thapar, how do you view the 2029 election verdict as given by the respondents of the survey? Overwhelming majority believe it's going to be the BJP with full majority. That's what 55% people are saying. Interestingly,
but
not in NDA, but BJP with full majority.
In 2024 also BJP did not get full majority. 2029 is yet to come, and I think it is the survey would not have that kind of an impact. Why do I say that? Is because BJP's vote share is declining. It is the strongest as of now. It has the largest Karyakarta bal. It has the largest money power. Having said that, it is on a declining mode. And they have to manage with JDU, they have to manage with Chandrababu Naidu, and that's how they came in power. And that is okay. To come in power, you have to have alliances, and NDA plus can continue, and they can continue in power. With that said, BJP is the strongest political party in the country as of now, and there is no political party which is even closer. But believing that they'll come with full majority in 29, it's too far-fetched. I don't think that is going to happen with the current numbers. With the current belief, with the current numbers, I think it's a distant dream as of now, because there is no new agenda which BJP can bring on table which could completely change the problems which the country is facing. Which, for example, the biggest problem which the country as of now is facing is the educated unemployment. So that has to be solved. The labor issues, that has to be solved. The farmer issues, that has to be solved. So these are some issues which the BJP is yet to solve or ponder their brains on. And further, with the declining of a mid and small scale industry, there is no formula to bring them back. So these are issues which are there. And having said that, I also believe that BJP is still the strongest political party, has a very strong leadership with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they also have the next level of leaders which are ready, which are blossoming. They have chief ministers in most of the states. They have a healthy competition in their political party. And apart from that, I don't think there is any political party which is stable. But believing the dynamics and the demography of our country, with so many sects which play into play, with so many muddas which come into play, I feel that the present dynamics of BJP will not be very strong for BJP in the coming years. They have won Bihar, they may continue winning Bengal, but there would be that would create a strong state level leadership. But the national issues, which are the core subject for BJP to return in 2029, I don't think they can match it up. And I don't believe that Congress could also match it up. So I am not very optimistic about Congress for sure. And I am not extremely optimistic about BJP that they are going to come up with thumping majority. Yes, my belief would be that they'll be the single largest political party. And again, they'll have to do a strong Gathbandhan with other political alliances, which they have done in 2024. And that is how they would continue in 2029 also. Looking at the health of BJP, looking at the strength of BJP, I feel BJP is the strongest, but not a thumping majority, single-sided political party as of now.
Okay. Let me in fact quickly also take that to Kalyani Shankar now on the state of the opposition today. Kalyani Shankar, what do you make when bulk of the respondents actually believe it should be someone others gains ground when people are asked who amongst the opposition is a fit candidate for PM in the future? Who amongst the opposition candidates is best suited to lead the opposition? People say other. Rahul Gandhi in the list, Arvind Kejriwal in the list, Priyanka Gandhi in the list, Mamata Banerjee in the list, but yet people preferring others. What does that tell us about the state of the opposition today?
Well, people are not satisfied with any of the leaders whom you have put the question. So probably they think there could be some other leader might emerge. There are still another 3-4 years. So by the time anybody could emerge, all of a sudden, did you ever think that Gujarat will become the Prime Minister of this country? No. So Deve Gowda? No. So that way, somebody suddenly could emerge at that time in their bargaining power, or that they could choose somebody. So it's too early to say that who would become the Prime Minister. We'll have to wait and see. And also, it's a really million-dollar question, because the coalitions, we don't know as yet who is going with whom, and then the chemistry, then all these things matter for an election.
Yes, but interestingly, I mean, the people believe that it's not, a coalition is not needed. Bipin Sharma, BJP back with full majority? That's what people want. That's what people are predicting in this survey. Is that possible? Also, a desire for PM Modi to continue once again in 2029?
Very pertinent question you've raised, Uday. Now, there are two things that need to be borne in mind. One is, let us recall the epic statement made by former late Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji. He said, we are living in this era of compulsion of coalition politics. So, and when in the scenario of political party unable to make to the majority mark, then you have to have the support of the coalition partners. So that is the grim reality of the day. So now to expect BJP to form a government with a thumping majority, I think as of now, in 2026, in the very initial stages, I think that's not going to happen because the opposition is gearing up, it's realized its past follies, and also the fact that you see, the one thing is very important, which also needs to be borne, is that 2024 outcome, the election results, was due to the friction between RSS and BJP. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. There's no denying the fact. Absolutely. So BJP, and they learned from their mistakes. As a result, they were able to register victories in Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, Bihar. I mean, opposition has all the right to attribute it to vote chori and make all the other assertions. That is their democratic right. But then there is no denying the fact that
well, we'll keep watching this space for more. Of course, for the time being, we've run out of time. My thanks to our guests for joining us on this special segment. We're turning our focus to breaking news coming in. PM Modi is all set to inaugurate the grand